Hey, what the heck? Sorry guys, I can definitely tell that you are running to lunch. Guys, with Sam Numzane here, there is no lunch. I'm sorry, I'm your new geography tutor. And today, we'll be learning about line thunderstorms. Please, take your seat, class of 2025. There is no lunch this year. Yes, guys. So today, we'll be learning about line thunderstorm. What is a line thunderstorm? A line thunderstorm simply means it is a series of thunderstorms which occur in summer. And they move from northwest to southeast in a straight line. You definitely heard that definition. What did I say? Let me write it down for you to better understand. What the heck? I haven't written here. Guys, for you to know, today it is our 25th lesson. Yes, 25th lesson for 2025. It definitely matches everything. Okay, now let's continue. Let's write down our definition. What did I say? I said there are a series of thunderstorms. Yes. Which occur in summer. And they move from northwest. Actually, let's draw a definition to better understand. Yes, never eat sour worms. I said they move from northwest to southeast. This is how they move in a straight line from northwest to southeast. Yes. Yes, guys. All right. Because of Sam Numzane likes to thoroughly explain, that definitely means we'll be moving to sketches. And if you already enjoy Sam Numzane in 2025, make sure that, hey, you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Yes, let's draw South Africa. We look, we do not judge. Yes, we look, we do not judge. This is our South Africa, guys. This is my South Africa. I do not care what you say. This is my South Africa. Maybe I could just try and do this. Yes, this is my South Africa. And what we know about South Africa is that it is affected by 3 pressure cells. If you do not know that, watch the video I've dropped before this one. It is about anti-cyclone. It explains all 3 pressure cells and how they actually work. Okay, let me try to remind. Before I do that, we said this line thunderstorm occurs when? In summer. This is when it occurs. It occurs when there's this thing which we call the sun. And what does the sun do? The sun obviously does what? It releases some radiation. The sun heats up the slope of South Africa. And when the slope has been heated up, obviously there will be what we call low pressure. Meaning in summer, there is low pressure. Because of low pressure, it is associated with rising air. Rising air, it is obviously caused by this heating up of the sun, and then there's rising air. The low pressure, it is now within the land. Yes, guys. So now we understand that it is occurring during summer, meaning there is low pressure on the land. The land, it is obviously associated with a lot of rising air. What does low pressure simply mean? Guys, when you are looking at a low pressure cell, usually, how do you identify a low pressure cell? Let's speak about these readings. The readings which you will find on a low pressure cell are always not below 950. They can never be below 950 hectopascals. Obviously, we use a barometer to measure these pressure cells. Yes, guys. So the low pressure cell, it is always between 950 hectopascals to 1050 hectopascals. Yes, guys. But then usually they never reach 1050 hectopascals. And normal low pressure, it is always within 1013. Just imagine 1013 and 1050. It is just there just to be compared, just for in case. So they are saying just for in case it could be 1050 hectopascals. But then that's not usually what usually happens. This is a high pressure. This is a low pressure cell. Yes, guys. And usually it is the Kalahari. Now let's continue. We have our definitely other cell, which is called our South Atlantic high pressure. This is the South Atlantic high pressure cell. What do we know about a high pressure? A high pressure, we know that it rotates anti-clockwise. Where? In the southern hemisphere. It rotates anti-clockwise in the southern hemisphere, meaning low pressure rotates clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Yes, guys. Now we have remembered. We know these things. I'm just trying to remind you. What else do you know about the South Atlantic? It is that it is within the cold Benguela current. It is cold. The South Atlantic Ocean, it is cold. Meaning here it is called the cold Benguela current, guys. The cold Benguela current, it is found here. If this is cold, what do we have here? We have what we call our South Indian high pressure. This is the South Indian high pressure cell. Also definitely rotates anti-clockwise, but then its difference it is that this is warm Mozambique current. This is warm Mozambique current. This is called Benguela current. Yes, guys. Now that we definitely understand what's happening, all these three pressure cells are very much important in creating a line thunderstorm. Now let me try to wipe here so that we could better understand, right? All right, yes. A line thunderstorm obviously occurs within the land. So that's why I had to create some space here. What do we know about the land? We know that the land has what we call high pressure. And what else do we know about high pressure and low pressure? We know that air moves from a high pressure area to a low pressure area. So if there's a low pressure in the land, even if the South Atlantic high pressure are very much far away, yes, guys, in summer, the high pressure cells, these two high pressure cells are very much far away from this land. Yes, all these three of them. Yes, guys, it's just that I do not have that much of space, but then usually they are very much far away. So as we said, air pressure moves from high to low, right? And this cold from the cold Benguela in the South Atlantic high pressure will still be entering what we call our shores, will still be entering our land, because of now there's a space here, space created by direct insolation, and now there's obviously a space for high pressure to occupy. But then not only this high pressure wants to occupy some space, also this cell wants to occupy the space on the land. The warm Mozambican current in the South Indian high pressure cell also wants to occupy the space created by low pressure. Obviously there's rising air, now there is space, right? And when there is space, obviously what we know is that they will continue to come, and they will continue to come, and they will meet at the middle where they want to fill up the gap. They can't fill up the gap because of cold and warm cannot mix. Cold and warm cannot mix. So what will happen is that the cold will now go underneath. The cold will now go underneath. The warm will now be forced to rise. The cold will go underneath, forcing the warm to rise. And obviously when the warm it is forced to rise, what will happen? Condensation, right? There's more now. There's more condensation happening, right? This condensation will be happening like this. From where? Northwest, from our northwest to our southeast. This condensation will be forming, right? Yes, guys. So obviously a layer of will be created here. And this layer, it is called the moisture front. It is not like the polar front, whereby obviously it can be created to be a wave. No, this one will be just separating obviously the warm air and the cold air. Then in the side, the eastern sides of the country, there will be that cumulonimbus clouds will be happening in the eastern sides of the country, meaning the sides will be experiencing cumulonimbus clouds, guys. Cumulonimbus clouds, it will be very dark. And just for you to know, it just not occurs in just one day. It's not just a boom, now there are line thunderstorm, now there are cumulonimbus clouds. No, obvious continuous of heating. When there's continuous of heating of the very same place, it is summer. Then the high pressure moves from high pressure area to low pressure areas. They will try to want to fill the gap, and they obviously cannot because of the cold air. It is much heavy. than the light warm air. Then the light warm air will be forced to rise, and as it rises above the cold air, it will create cumulonimbus clouds on the side where there's obviously a lot of warm air, because of there's obviously a lot of warm air coming from that Indian Ocean. Never mind the sun, the Indian Ocean was continuously releasing that warmth, that moisture. So obviously where there's more warm air, there will be more precipitation. We know that. We definitely know that warm air creates precipitation. Yes, guys. So now we can definitely tell the formation of a line thunderstorm. Very simple, isn't it? Yes, guys. This is how you definitely do it. You definitely have to know that it occurs during summer and how does it move, and it's a series of thunderstorms. Meaning, obviously, the cumulonimbus clouds which will be moving across the country from northwest to southeast will be throwing some lightnings and heavy precipitation, and it's going to be tough. Hails, even hails, the ice will be coming through. So the eastern side of the country will be affected a lot. Yes, guys. But then this is Closeup Education, and no, we can't leave you like that. You have to like this video, subscribe to Closeup Education. Why? Because of line thunderstorm definitely has its disadvantages, guys. We know its disadvantages. I just named them. There will be obviously floods. When there are floods, we know soil erosion, destruction of electric cables and stuff like that. Even it could sparkle fire. Thunderstorm could sparkle fire. Could maybe where there's a kettle house, boo, or where there's electric cables, boo, lightning can strike fire any time of the day. Or maybe where there's dry wood, right, that forestry, and that there's continuously of heavy line thunderstorm, obviously there can be fire occurring there. Yes, guys, this is how simple line thunderstorm was. I definitely hope that I made it simple for you. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to Closeup Education, because of education will always be simple here. Okay.